Craig in Solihull, and we're at the HMO that we've just finished after a bit of a 6-month marathon, but it's been quite a project. Lynn & Craig didn't just want a HMO, they wanted a super deluxe HMO. But we are just about to bring building regs in this week, and we're finally about to sign the keys over to Lynn & Craig. What I wanted to do today was give Lynn & Craig the opportunity to talk about their business, because as much as we love doing these conversions and as much work as we do, really at the end of the day, we don't own it, we just work on it. It's really about the owners at the end of the day, and it's about them being happy, and it's about us creating what they originally intended. Could you sum up for me in 3 words how you found the experience?
Challenging.
Yes.
Ultimately very rewarding. The stress involved was made easier by having someone to hold our hands.
We had massive support, did we not, from the HMO officer at Solihull, and also from the building regs guys themselves?
They've been remarkably supportive. The HMO role that the hat that he wears isn't a huge one because there aren't many HMOs in Solihull, but he's incredibly keen to expand on the general portfolios. He's happy to come out. We found him, a real boon.
When I first viewed this house, it was it stank. It was in a dreadful state. Why did you pick this house?
Main thing was the location. It's just a few minutes walk from 2 hospitals, from Solihull town centre. It's about 1.5 miles from the Jaguar Land Rover factory.
Right.
There's a big council depot 1/2 mile away, so it was really good for people being able to walk to work.
And the standard and the level of fitting has been set at knowing that they're working people, they're looking for a professional finish. We're not looking at a student market, and therefore we've gone for quality throughout.
You've started with the results, and you've worked your way back, and coming back, we've come back to the location itself.
Yeah.
The interesting thing that I haven't really got into with you, because I've been very, very involved in the physical build and change of this house. There's been an enormous amount of work. This house bears no relation to the way it looked when we began. In actual fact, there's a 36 square metre extension in which you are sitting now. You're now sitting in an area that was an outside sort of coal shed.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
You're sitting
on the toilet.
You're sitting in the outside
polite
toilet, and that's absolutely. So there has been a big investment in here, but have you brought in investors that have worked with you, or?
Yeah, we've had to. We had finances set aside, but because the job is always going to grow. Any job expands as you do it, but you identify issues, you have new ideas.
Yeah.
You try to keep the changes to a minimum, because every change introduces new cost, but we've had to draw on additional finance from family.
We are giving them a much better return on their money than they would get from the banks.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's a business arrangement. The agreement was that we would pay them a fixed level of interest, so they know that they're getting a reasonable
Stops any problems, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Laid out from the beginning.
And the idea being that if we treat them fairly, they make money on the deal, then we will feel very, very satisfied in 6 months, 12 months time to repeat the process.
So what we're looking at here is a HMO that's been done to spec, because we've brought building regs in, we've listened to what they've said that the minimum requirement is, we've brought the HMO officer in, we haven't relied on what we think, we've actually brought the experts in and said, what do you require us to do? And then when they've played the tune we've danced, they said that this is what we need, this is the minimum spec that we need. We'll have a little look at maybe a couple of rooms, and we'll show people the sort of accommodation that we've got here. But everything is up to spec and beyond. We've got 2 ensuite rooms here, 4 other rooms that share more than ample size bathrooms. It's very, very, very important. You put a big investment in the communal and in the garden, in the outside space as well.
Well, we want it to be a sociable household.
Right.
We want the tenants to speak to each other and get on well.
Right.
And hopefully that will make them more inclined to look after the place as well.
They can stay in the room, stay in the communal area, go in the garden, sit on the patio. It's all about choices.
And you've provided internet facilities for everybody in every room. There's internet in every room.
There's Wi-Fi and hardwired internet.
The heating system is controllable.
It is.
By yourselves.
Individually settable for room, but there's a master override.
So you can actually control that yourselves
Yes, offsite.
from elsewhere,
hmm
which is very, very important.
It's very useful, particularly as it'll be an all-inclusive, therefore we are paying all the bills. For the lenders, that they like there to be some value still left in the property. You're not taking all the money out, you're not cutting and running, it's an investment to you that gives them a sense of comfort.
They build a reputation with a lender, and they know that you don't do a shoddy job. They know that you're not half measures. They know that you go in and you listen to the builders, you listen to the developers, you listen to building regs, you listen to the HMO people, and they know that it's done properly. It's exactly what you said. They build confidence in you, and they're more inclined to look at your history and say, they more than doubled the value of their original investment, which you must have done. You must have more than doubled the value of the original cost. But if we were looking at the rental on this, what might you have achieved as a single rental on it as it stood?
Probably about £650 a month.
But at £650 a month, that would have
After
still
refurb.
that would have taken a considerable investment to get to £650 a month. Gross rental from this per month would be in the region
Around
of
about 3,000.
round about 3,000. Fabulous. So what's the name of the company?
Brum Homes.
Brum Homes, and they can find you under Brum Homes on the internet.
Yes, brumhomes.co.uk.
Okay. I've got to say we're coming to the end of this, and I think you mentioned it's going to be a bit of a wrench leaving us and all the lads.
Yeah,
We've become.
The house is very quiet when I come over on my own.
I should imagine it is, because you're used to having me and half a dozen hairy-backed builders, I call them, sort of hanging about the place, and it's all a bit of a culture shock now. It's all finished. What's the future now? Where do we go from here? Is there another one planned, or what are you thinking?
We're starting to look around for the next one, yes. We're going for at least another one or two.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes from there. Yeah.
We've already got the mortgage agreed on this place through a mortgage broker who's very supportive. So that's all agreed in principle, subject to the building regs being finally signed off probably next week.
Yep.
And we're liquidating one of the smaller property so that we can then reinvest in another something similar to this, and onwards and upwards.